friends, today we are going to learn fundamental unit of life. What are living organisms made up of? What are these structures? These structures look similarly to each other. Together they form a big structures like an onion bulb. We find from this activity that onion bulbs of different sizes have similar small structures visible under a microscope. The cell of the onion peel will all look the same regardless of the size of the onion they came from. These small structures that we see are the basic building units of the onion bulb. These structures are called cells. Not only onions, but all organisms that we observe around are made up of cells. However, they are also single cells that live on their own. The invention of magnifying lenses led to the discovery of the microscopic world. It is not known that a single cell may constitute a whole organism, as in amoeba, Chlamydomonas, Paramecium, and bacteria. These organisms are called unicellular organisms. On the other hand, many cells group together in a single body and assume different functions in it to form various body parts in multicellular organisms such as some fungi, plants and animals. Every multicellular organism has come from a single cell. How? Cells divide to produce cells of their own kind. All cells thus come from pre-existing cells. The shape or size of cells are related to the specific functions they perform. Some cells like amoeba having changing shapes. In some cases, the cell shape could be more or less fixed and peculiar for a particular type of cell. This means that different parts of the human body perform different functions. The human body has a heart to pump blood, a stomach to digest food and so on. Similarly, divisions of labor is also seen within a single cell. In fact, each such cell has got certain specific components within it known as cell organelles. Each kind of cell organelle performs a special function such as making new material in the cell, clearing up the waste material from the cell and so on. A cell is able to perform all its function because of these organelles. These organelles together constitute the basic unit of the cell. It is interesting that all cells are found to have the same organelles, no matter what their function is or what organism they are found in. What is a cell made up of? What is the structural organization of a cell? Every cell, plasma membrane, nucleus and cytoplasm, all activities inside the cell and interactions of the cell with its environment are possible due to these features. Let us see how. Plasma membrane or cell membrane. This is the outermost covering of the cell that separates the contents of the cell from its external environment. The plasma membrane allows or permits the entry and exit of some materials in and out of the cell. It is also prevents movement of some other materials. The cell membrane therefore is called a selectively permeable membrane. Some substances like carbon dioxide or oxygen can move across the cell membrane by a process called diffusion. We have studied the process of diffusion in earlier chapters. We saw that there is spontaneous movement of a substance from a region of high concentration to a region where its concentration is low. Something similar to this happens in cell when, for example, some substances like CO2 accumulates in high concentration inside the cell. In the cell's external environment, the concentration of CO2 is low as compared to that inside the cell. As soon as there is difference of concentration of CO2 inside and outside a cell, CO2 moves out of the cell from a region of high concentration to a region of low concentration outside the cell by the process of diffusion. Similarly, O2 enters the cell by the process of diffusion when the level of concentration of O2 inside the cell decreases. Thus, diffusion plays an important role in gases exchange between the cells as well as the cell and its external environment. Water also obeys the laws of diffusion. The movement of water molecules through such a selectively permeable membrane is called osmosis. The movement of water across the plasma membrane is also affected by the amount of substance dissolved in water. Thus, osmosis is the net diffusion of water across a selectively permeable membrane toward a higher solute concentration. Cell wall. Plant cells, in addition to the plasma membrane, have another rigid outer covering called the cell wall. The cell wall lies outside the plasma membrane. The plant cell wall is mainly composed of cellulose. Cellulose is an complex substance and provides structural strength to plants. When a living plant cell loses water through osmosis, there is shrinkage or contraction of the contents of the cell away from the cell wall. This phenomenon is known as plasmolysis. Cell walls permit the cells of plants, fungi and bacteria to withstand very dilute external media without bursting. In such media, the cell wall tend to take up water by osmosis, the cell wall building up pressure against the cell wall. The wall exerts an equal pressure against the swollen cell. Because of this wall, such cells can withstand much greater changes in the surrounding medium than animal cells. Nucleus. According to their chemical composition, different regions of cell gets colored differently. Some region appears darker than other regions. Apart from iodine solution, we could also use safranin solution or methylene blue solution to stain the cell. We have observed cell from an onion. Let us now observe cell from our own body. The nucleus has a double layer covering called nuclear membrane. The nuclear membrane has pores which allow the transfer of material from inside the nucleus to its outside, that is, to the cytoplasm. The nucleus contains chromosomes which are visible as rod-shaped structures only when the cell is about to divide. Chromosomes contain information for inheritance of characters from parent to next generation in the form of DNA molecules. Chromosomes are composed of DNA and protein. DNA molecules contain the information necessary for constructing and organizing cells. Functional segments of DNA are called genes. In a cell which is not dividing, the DNA is present as part of chromatin material. Chromatin material is visible as attenuated mass of thread-like structures. Whenever the cell is about to divide, the chromatin materials get organized into chromosomes. The nucleus plays a central role in cellular reproduction, the process by which a single cell divides and forms two new cells. It also plays a crucial part along with the environment in determining the way the cell will develop and what form it will exhibit at maturity by directing the chemical activities of the cell. In some organisms like bacteria, nuclear region of the cell may be poorly defined due to the absence of a nuclear membrane. Such an undefined nuclear region containing only nucleic acids is called a nucleoid. Such organisms whose cells lack a nuclear membrane are called prokaryotes. Organisms with cells having a nuclear membrane are called eukaryotes. Prokaryote cells also lack most of the other cytoplasmic organelles present in eukaryotic cells. Many of the functions of such organelles are also performed by poorly organized parts of the cytoplasm. The chlorophyll is photosynthesis. Prokaryotic bacteria is associated with membranous vessels, but not with plastids as in eukaryotic cells. Cytoplasma. When we look at the temporary mounds of onion peel as well as human cheek cells, we can see a larger region of each cell enclosed by the cell membrane. This region takes up very little strain. It is called the cytoplasm. The cytoplasm is the fluid content inside the plasma membrane. It also contains many specialized cell organelles. Each of these organelles performs a specific function for the cell. Cell organelles are enclosed by membranes. In prokaryotes, beside the absence of a defined nuclear region, the membrane-bound cell organelles are also absent. On the other hand, the eukaryotic cells have nuclear membrane as well as membrane-enclosed organelles. The significance of membranes can be illustrated with the example of viruses. Viruses lack any membranes and hence do not show characteristics of life until they enter a living body and use its cell machinery to multiply. Cell organelles. Every cell has a membrane around it to keep its own content separate from the external environment. Large and complex cells, including cells from multicellular organisms, need a lot of chemical activities to support their complicated structure and function. To keep these activities of different kinds separate from each other, these cells use membrane-bound little structures within themselves. This is one of the features of eukaryotic cells that distinguish them from prokaryotic cells. Some of these organelles are visible only with an electron microscope. Endoplasmic reticulum. The endoplasmic reticulum is a large network of membrane-bound tubes and sheets. It looks like long tubules or round or oblong bags. The ER membrane is similarly in structure to the plasma membrane. There are two types of ER: rough endoplasmic reticulum and smooth endoplasmic reticulum. RAR looks rough under microscope because it has particles called ribosomes attached to its surface. The ribosomes, which are present in all active cells, are the sites of protein manufacture. The manufactured protein are then sent to various places in the cell depending on need using the ER. The SER helps in the manufacture of fat molecules or lipids important for cell functions. Some of these proteins and lipids help in building the cell membrane. This process is known as membrane biogenesis. Some other proteins and lipids function as enzymes and hormones. Also, the ER varies greatly in appearance in different cells. It always forms a network system with histones. These membranes often have connections with the membranes of ER and therefore constitute another portion of a complex cellular membrane system. The material synthesized near the ER is packed and dispatched to various targets inside and outside the cell through the Golgi apparatus. Its functions include the storage, modifications, and packaging of products in vessels. In some cases, complex sugars may be made from simple sugar in the Golgi apparatus. The Golgi apparatus is also involved in the formation of lysosomes. Lysosomes. Structurally, lysosomes are membrane-bound sacs filled with digestive enzymes. These enzymes are made by RER. Lysosomes are a kind of waste disposal system of the cell. These help to keep the cell clean by digesting any foreign material as well as worn out cell organelles. Foreign materials entering the cell such as bacteria or food as well as old organelles end up in the lysosomes, which break complex substances into simpler substances. Lysosomes are able to do this because they contain powerful digestive enzymes capable of breaking down all organic material. During the disturbance in cellular metabolism, for example, when the cell gets damaged, lysosomes may burst and the enzymes digest their own cells. Therefore, lysosomes are also known as the suicide bags of a cell. Mitochondria. Mitochondria are known as the powerhouses of the cell. Mitochondria have two membrane coverings. The outer membrane is porous while the inner membrane is deeply folded. These folds increase surface area for ATP generating chemical reaction. The energy required for various chemical activities needed for life is released by mitochondria in the form of ATP molecules. ATP is known as the energy currency of the cell. The body uses energy stored in ATP for making new chemical compounds and for mechanical work. Mitochondria are strange organelles in the sense that they have their own DNA and ribosomes. Therefore, mitochondria are able to make some of their own proteins. Plastids. Plastids are present only in plant cells. There are two types of plastids, chromoplasts and leucoplasts. Chromoplasts containing the pigment chlorophyll are known as chloroplasts. Chloroplasts are important for photosynthesis in plants. Chloroplasts also contain various yellow or orange pigment in addition to chlorophyll. Leucoplasts are primarily organelles in which materials such as starch, oils, and protein granules are stored. The internal organization of the chloroplast consists of numerous membrane layers embedded in a material called the stroma. These are similar to mitochondria in external structure. Like the mitochondria, plastids also have their own DNA and ribosomes. Vacuoles. Vacuoles are storage sacs for solid or liquid contents. Vacuoles are small sized in animal cells while plant cells have very large vacuoles. The central vacuole of some plant cell may occupy 50 to 90% of the cell volume. In plant cells, vacuoles are full of cell sap and provide turgidity and rigidity to the cell. Many substances of importance in the life of the plant cell are stored in vacuoles. These include amino acids, sugars, various organic acids, and some protein. In single-celled organisms like amoeba, the food vacuole contains the food items that the amoeba has consumed. In some unicellular organisms, specialized vacuoles also play important roles in expelling excess water and some waste from the cell. Each cell thus acquires its structure and ability to function because of the organization of its membrane and organelles in specific ways. The cell thus has a basic structural organization. This helps the cells to perform functions like respiration, obtaining nutrition, and clearing of waste materials or forming new proteins. Thus, the cell is the fundamental structural unit of living organism. It is also the basic functional unit of life.